So last devlog, I was really worried that I'd be running out of time for this, but when I discovered Nano Banana AI, I think things have changed. So about a couple of weeks ago, I had a few people recommend using the Nano Banana AI image model, and I figured that I'd give it a go because one of the struggles that I was really having was making the combat stances for all of the characters. I think I had about 80 combat stance images to make, in terms of ideally, each character will have a static stance of them holding their weapon and that being side on, and then an attack stance with them obviously swinging or thrusting the weapon, whatever it is. And I tried using ChatGPT on multiple occasions, probably about a month or so back, and it wasn't doing it, right? It was really inconsistent. And so that's why, really, when it came to making all those images, it was really worrying because I had no idea how long it was going to take. So I came across, obviously this sort of Gemini's, Nano Banana image model, strange thing to call it, and that was able to do it really consistently. I made a effectively what might as well be a custom GPT or what they call a gem around a character creation sort of model. And I basically gave it images of some of my characters, and I basically said, right, can you make sure that this character is side on, that the image is landscape, and that it's holding this weapon, and so on and so forth. And with a few back and forth tweaking, I was able to get what I wanted originally, and then in terms of a static stance, I then basically said, right, can you now get this character to now do an attack stance with that image? With a few back and forth, I was able to get both the images I wanted for one of the characters, and from there, it then made things a lot easier because I could then just give it examples, and it had a general idea of what it was that I was looking for. Now, this was really, really quite good because I was able to make the quality images, and I was also able to get a lot of consistency. And I think I was able to make all of the 80 stances within about 2 to 3 days, which is really, really good. One of the other things I was able to do as well is what I noticed with my demo, or at least the old demo stuff that I released back in September, is that the characters, well, most of them, like only one of them did, but the rest of them didn't have any shadows, meaning that when they were on the actual combat background, they weren't really sat on it. They were sort of floating. So one of the things I did is I was able to use something called like Photopea, I think it's called. And what I was able to do is able to upload the image of the character without a background, and I was able to almost draw a little like a vague shadow below it. I was able to layer that behind the character, and now when I actually upload it to the combat scene, it actually looks pretty good. So I'm really quite happy with what we've managed to do there. Now, in terms of time of recording, it's pretty much the 17th of January at the moment. So we've pretty much got about just over, 10 days maybe, or effectively, just about 2 weeks in time for when I want to basically apply to release the game. Whether I apply for it at the very end of this month and it gets approved sort of early Feb, maybe that's what happens. But I'm feeling a lot more on track for things. In terms of the images that I need to make, really, it's just pretty much cutscenes. I just need to make the crown story, and then we got all the council member story images made. And other than having to revisit acts probably 1 to 4, which shouldn't take a crazy amount of time, then it's just a matter of playtesting things, updating the demo, and then applying to get the full game out as well. So really looking forward to that, really looking forward to just actually getting things out and ideally be able to actually get feedback on my game. I'm not really seeing the game as something which is going to be incredible. I think really I just see it as the first project, and if people like it, that's fantastic. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much where we're at in terms of next week. Really, it's just going to be finishing things up. I need to make sure that everything is working with the kingdom scene, and obviously redoing some of the acts. And then really from there, it will probably just be, playtesting. Playtesting as much as I can and trying to find as many bugs or things that aren't working as well or things that could be improved so that when I apply to get this game out, ideally it's going to be in a much better position and, hopefully people will like it. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Hopefully, you're enjoying and naturally the process and coming along with it. And I'll chat to you very soon.